Hello, I'm Gemma Milne. I'm a technology journalist and I'm here at InsurTech Rising, and I'm joined by Oke Eleazu, who is the COO at Bought by Many. Oke, thank you so much for joining us.
It's good, thank you.
Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about customer focus, because you're really interested in the space of insurance becoming increasingly customer driven. Why is that so important?
Basically, most global businesses, they are all becoming more customer centric, and that's because customers are becoming more powerful. There was that adage that customer was king from 20 or 30 years ago, and that really wasn't the case, right? Big organisations could pretty much do what they liked, and they ruled the roost about how they governed products and how those worked for customers. But times have changed, right? And that's been driven by all sorts of things. The biggest thing for me is customers now have a voice through social media and things like that. Customers can really make a difference. They don't like a product. They not only don't buy that product, but they tell other people not to buy that product. So that's been the case for many other industries, and is now the case for insurance. And I think that if you follow the customer, not only do you provide them a product that they want, but actually they'll talk to other people about it from a positive perspective. So yeah, I think insurance is just following everyone else. Slower, but getting there.
So we're at InsurTech Rising. Talk to me a little bit about technology. How is that helping to bring insurers closer to the customer?
Yeah, I think technology is the great enabler. Okay, it's the biggest change, since I've been working in insurance, is what technology does to enable customers, first of all, maybe to do things themselves. So in this whole environment of things changing for people, they want frictionless stuff. We're in the world of Amazon and Apple and Google. It's just easy, effortless. And so how can insurance be more like that? And that's difficult, right? And the way to make that happen is through better use of technology. Technology isn't the end in itself for me and for us. It's the thing that enables us to create a better experience for customers. I'll give you an example. Think about buying insurance. It used to be a really long, drawn-out process with forms and phone calls and evidence and so on and so forth, which used to take not days, sometimes weeks. But now, technology allows people to do most of that themselves. You can do most of the process for us through just using the website, uploading documents and scanning in documents, having forms that are online, not you have to print off a PDF and fill it in. Technology allows all of those things to happen. Technology allows better understanding of the risk of different individuals. Technology just enables the whole thing to work better for customers. It's a great enabler.
So talk to me a little bit about Bought by Many. You guys are one of the leading insurtechs out there.
Nice of you to say so.
How would you say you guys differentiate yourself? Because it's quite a crowded market.
Insurance is a crowded market, right? And insurance is a very old market that's been there a long time. But the whole purpose of our business as a startup is to try and think of things differently. I worked in a number of big insurers, and when I left them, it was because I didn't think insurance companies worked particularly well for customers. So it was great to get the opportunity to join a startup whereby our sole focus was how can we make insurance better? We're a purpose-driven business. We create this purpose, which is better insurance for everyone. And that guides our whole business. And then better could be better price, because we've looked at the value chain and how it works and making sure that we can shorten it so there's less mouths to feed in the value chain so the customer gets a better price or a better product. It's incredibly important. So that we deal with groups and communities and we talk to them about what features they like or don't like in products, so we can build products that are better for them. And the third thing, and maybe the most important, is better experience, and which I've touched on already. We spend an awful lot of time thinking about user experience and customer experience and how we can make the experience for a customer as simple and easy as possible. And that's something they really, really appreciate. So doing those things that sound simple actually makes insurance feel different for our customers. And so it's not that they don't recognize the product anymore, they just think, wow, this is insurance, but it doesn't feel like insurance. And that's helping us stand out from the crowd.
So let's build a little bit on this idea of experience. There's been a lot of chat here at the conference around different kinds of technologies that can help with efficiency, things like chatbots, for instance. How do you balance good customer service and in-house efficiency?
Yeah, it's possibly one of my biggest challenges as COO of the business, because we're growing quickly. And as you grow, the biggest challenge is scale, right? You don't want your cost line to grow at the same time, same pace as your revenue line. And so you want to become more efficient. The great thing about technology is that helps with that. And so we're always looking for different solutions to help efficiency, but not at the detriment of the customer experience. So chatbots is a really great example, but even before chatbots, anything that allows self-service is great, right? So even before chatbots, anything that allows the customer to do the work themselves is great for us. It means we don't have to expend time and energy in a back office or in a contact center somewhere sorting it out. So if you think of it, you think about all the issues and the questions, and you try and push them up the sort of value chain. So in the product, if the product is simple, this is the real apple. If the product is simple, people never really ask us about it. They understand it. So you don't really need a chatbot because it's written in a way that customers understand. We've got an award from Fairer Finance that says that all our documents have a reading age of 11, right? And so that means that hopefully most of our customers have got a product they understand, which means they have less need to interact with us, which is good, right? Even though we're great at interaction, that is good. And that comes before chatbots. Now chatbots, again, may be a great solution, but only if it can work for a customer, in my opinion, because that's our business is all about. Yes, driving efficiencies, but really maximising the customer experience. Really high recommendation scores, huge advocacy, so people recommend us to other businesses. So I think all that technology has its place, right? All of it has its place, but for us, it's got to be value creating for the customer.
Zooming out a little bit and looking at the industry as a whole, insurance is an industry that maybe at times had some challenges with perception, and probably a lot of that has been linked back to customer service. Maybe it's also sort of linked to perception of insurers being self-serving. How do you think the sort of increasing ability for insurers to have really good customer service, can that help shift that perception, do you think, or is it a bigger problem?
Yeah, I think having, as I said earlier, worked in insurance a lot of my formative career, I think you're absolutely right. Insurance often is seen as a bad industry, maybe not as bad as pharmaceuticals or tobacco or whatever, but very self-serving. And I agree to some degrees, it has been, right? Back to we could create lots of terms and conditions that suited us as insurers and didn't suit customers. And maybe it's still the case a little bit today. How can we change that? I think companies like ours and many of the others you'll see here today are trying to change that. They are customer-driven, customer-focused companies, and they know for them to grow and to even challenge to get a small market share, they have to work for customers, right? And what we do then in doing that is we open people's minds up to a new way of insurance working. So I said our purpose is better insurance for everyone. Part of the for everyone was if we do great things that customers love and other bigger insurers copy us, then that's great, right? Because that's for everyone. If they say, for example, we have a zero excess pet policy, no one else writes a policy like that, but customers love it. So if everyone else starts writing that, yes, it may not be great for us because we lose a bit of our advantage, but it's better for everyone as a whole. And so it's these sort of changes that companies like ours are making, and all of the other startups and InsurTech startups, I think will change the view of how insurance companies will work. So I think that in maybe 10 years, I think the perception will be completely different.
Awesome, Oke. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.